Disclaimer: this material is for informational purposes and does not constitute a call to action. Trading involves risks, and access to my trading robot is granted if all rules are followed. Dear friends, hello everyone. I am glad to welcome each of you to my channel. Today, I want to trade starting with a $10 capital, and I will be trading based on the signals from my AI-powered trading robot. My goal for today is to reach $6,800 by trading according to the signals from my robot. I wonder if I'll be able to achieve it or not. We'll find out at the end of this video, so watch closely. Today we'll be trading on these 6 assets, which I have already selected in advance. But this trading robot provides me with signals for absolutely any assets available on the best broker. This robot is free and available to absolutely everyone. I only allocate 20 free activations per day. There are a lot of people who want to activate it. As of now, only 5 free activations out of 20 remain. So if anyone wants to activate it and trade using this tool, go ahead and activate it. The link will be in the description. So dear friends, before we begin, I'd like to show you some feedback from my subscribers who are already trading with me and are already seeing results. For example, in these reviews you can see the quality of work I do for my students, my viewers, and for anyone who wants to change their life. So let's get started. Our first asset will be the Australian dollar and the Canadian dollar. I'm opening this asset on the trading robot. I'm launching the signal for 10 seconds. The trading robot says we need to buy. I immediately open a buy trade and expect the price to close somewhere in this range, as that will allow me to make a profit. And that's exactly what happened. The accuracy of this signal was as high as 94%. $19.20 are already in my account. We started off great. My first asset closed in profit. Let's keep going. I'm thinking about which pair to trade next. Australian dollar and Swiss franc. I open this asset on the trading robots. I select the 10-second signal. The trading robot tells me to buy. I immediately open a buy trade after receiving the signal. Even though I should have opened the trade here, I still expect the price to rise. And that's exactly what happened. I was given an absolutely accurate signal. This trade had a 92% accuracy rate. So I've already made money on the second currency pair, and my balance is now as much as $36. In other words, I multiplied my capital by 3.5 times in just a minute of trading. But remember one thing, trading is always a risk. What I'm showing you is my own experience. You shouldn't trade with such high risk management. I'm reviewing content that I want to share with you. I'm confident in my capital, and this was not my last money. So guys, I'm not going to be like every other trader and tell you that you'll make $1 million here. Yes, it's potentially possible, but you always have to consider the risks. So be vigilant, protect your capital, and trade with a cool head. Moving on to the next asset. Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar. Let's go look for the asset. A 10-second signal. Buy. I opened a buy trade after receiving the signal. The signal accuracy is 89%. The price is still trading above my entry point, and this trade closes in profit. I've already made $70 in capital literally on the third trade. I won't keep you waiting or talk too much. I'm moving straight to the next asset. Australian dollar, US dollar. Let's find this asset. Starting a 10-second signal. The trading robot is convinced that the price will rise now. It's 94% confident about this. I expect the price just needs to close above my entry point for me to make a profit here. But here we get a return. So our task now is simply to make a profit on this asset and move on to the next currency pair. So in fact, the price did go up. The trading robot was absolutely right, and my balance is now $135.88. So a great result. We can move on. The Swiss franc and Japanese yen have fallen in percentage terms. So I'll replace it with the British pound and the Australian dollar. We'll turn off this pair, we're not interested in them. Let's move on to our next asset. Euro, US dollar. We find a currency pair and launch a signal for 10 seconds. Trading robot says buy. I opened a buy trade based on the robot's signal. The accuracy of this signal is 92%, and in fact the trade closed above my entry point, so I made a solid profit of $260 here. The result is excellent. We're moving on to our next asset that we'd like to trade. British pound, Australian dollar. We'll trade on it, but yeah. British pound, Australian dollar. We find this asset on the trading robot. I think it's on page 3 and the Australian dollar. Signal for 10 seconds. The trading robot says you need to sell here. We were a bit late opening the trade at this point, where it actually should have been opened. But despite that, there was a strong price gap, maximum signal accuracy, and in fact a profit of $500. I consider the result more than excellent and can move on to the next asset. Australian dollar and Canadian dollar. I open this trading asset on the robot and start a 10-second signal. The trading robot says you need to buy. I immediately open a buy trade after receiving the signal and wait for the results on this asset. The price went down, but I expect a sharp impulse and the trade closed in profit. Everything happened just as I predicted. The result is excellent. I am completely satisfied with it. Now let's move on to the next asset. But first, let's set up our settings. Everything is set up perfectly, and now we move on to the Australian dollar Swiss franc. We find this asset in the robot. 10-second signal. The signal is activated. The trading robot says you need to buy. I immediately opened a buy trade after my trading robot told me to, expecting that this trade would close in profit and we would already earn a more substantial amount. And that's exactly what happened. $1,846 on my balance thanks to signals from artificial intelligence, which analyzes the market 24 hours a day. This trading robot is absolutely free. The link to it will be in the description below this video. If any of you want to trade with it, just follow the link, activate it, and start trading together with it. But remember one thing, trading always involves potential risk, and you simply have to accept and understand that. It's impossible to make $1 million just like that without doing anything. There is always a risk and there is always a chance of losing your capital. So I won't tell you, like other bloggers do, that everything here is possible without any risks. I always tell only the truth. So moving on to the next asset. Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar. I select this asset on the trading robot. A 10-second signal. The trading robot tells me you should buy here as well. I opened a buy trade after receiving the signal. I need the price to close above my entry point. And that's basically what happened. And my balance is already $3,545. The result is simply excellent. I am very pleased with the result. And now we have the final trade ahead of us, which will let us see whether we really managed to turn $10 into $6,800, or to be precise, $6,807, which is 6,800% more than my initial balance. I'm switching to the Euro-US dollar pair. I find this asset on the robot, set the signal for 10 seconds. The trading robot gave a buy signal. I opened a buy trade after its signal. The signal accuracy is 91% and I have a profit of $6,807 in my balance. If you forgot, I started my trading journey, so to speak, with just $10 in this video, and thanks to the accurate and reliable signals from this tool, which is absolutely free, my balance has already reached $6,800. I am extremely happy with the current result. With that, I will be wrapping up my video. I wish each of you a great day and see you next time. Goodbye everyone.